of Windy City Times. So, family, I'm Anna DeShawn. Pronouns, anything respectful is amazing. And I am your favorite queer radio personality, host of the Queer News Podcast, where we report on politics, culture, and entertainment every Monday. We are Queer News Done Right. And guess what? I got a shirt that says it, yo. And the inside of my jacket is so gay. It's great, right? So family, when Tracy asks you to do something, you say yes. And I could not be more thrilled to be here tonight. If you didn't know, Tracy went to Drake University. I went to Drake University. A little later. We're bulldogs up in here. And I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do if Tracy hadn't done the work that she did. And the work that she continues to do. When I got to Chicago, 23, and I had pinchable cheeks and a lot of dreams and had no idea how I was going to turn audio into a career, Tracy was always open, willing to talk with me, meet with me, give me advice, truly just give up her time. And her sacrifice, her resilience, I don't know how Windy City Times has been free for 40 years. But what she has been able to do and the sacrifices she has made is unprecedented. And we're living in a time right now where freedom of speech, freedom of the press is not just under attack. We're really losing it. Right? The foundation of a democracy that we once knew is being lost right now in this moment. And I can't think of anything more important right now than coming together as family to celebrate Chicago's legacy LGBTQ journalism outlet, Windy City Times. And when I travel the country and go to all these conferences, let me tell you, every queer person who has ever come through Chicago has worked at Windy City Times. Every single one of them have worked for Tracy at some point in their career. It is on their resume. Chicago is special because we have Windy City Times. And we talk about Tracy, but Tracy is not alone. Tracy has never done this work alone. There is Terry, 35 years? Long. Right? And if I start naming people one by one, I'm going to forget them. But let me be very clear about this. It is a team. It is a community. And Chicago does it right. I've learned from her, we all have, and we're blessed because Windy City Times called Chicago home. I did have notes, and I should look at them because Tracy wrote me a script. Was that? Okay, I can just keep okay. So let me do this. We must thank Sidetrack and Brad. Yes. The whole Sidetrack team. We got DJ Lora Branch. VITIGRRL back here. Everybody have some Taylor's tacos? We love Taylor's tacos. We also want to say thank you to Vivian Gonzalez for all of the branding, all of the work. Make sure you get buttons, all the things. Thank you to the volunteers tonight, Sandra, David, Todd, and the Second City Sisters, okay? Also, thank you to our sponsors, Bally's, Chicago Casino, and Bittencourt Realty. Thank you so much for supporting this. Of course, VITIGRRL Radio and The Q. And what I think is most important right now is that we remember that we must continue to exist. Yeah. For some reason, we were born for such a time as this, and the work is continuing to exist. Because when we show up to fight, what do? We yeah, we do. Every single time. Because no matter how hateful and disgusting they are, every single time love will win. Every single time. Does everybody in here know Nadine Smith from Equality, Florida? Okay. If you don't know her, let me tell you this dope analogy before I pass the mic. She talks about the slingshot theory. That what's happening right now is that everything is rolling back, right? You feel like they're losing so much every day. The news, it just doesn't stop. But her analogy says that we might continue to lose right now a little bit, but what they don't know is that in the end, when we win and the slingshot lets go, we end up further ahead than we did before. And in this moment, I feel that because it feels so dark. But then you look to your left and your right, and we've packed this place out because we care, because we believe in community, and we believe in the power of journalism and storytelling, and we know how important it is for our survival. Y'all, we can't let Windy City die. Come on. Woo! We can't let any of our local journalism and media outlets die. We talk about food deserts, but let's talk about news deserts. We have to commit to supporting our local media outlets like Windy City Times. And y'all did that by showing up tonight. I gotta go back to my script. Just Jake. Oh, Jake. We do want to send love from Achi. She couldn't make it tonight. I know. But she wants to send love to you all, and she wish she could be here. And I'm excited to introduce my friend. We were roomies just the other week. Me and Jake, we're tight, okay? And he's the managing editor of Windy City Times, The Next Generation, leading us for the next 40 years. Can y'all give a big round of applause to Jake?
So, wow. But hi everyone, my name is Jake Wittich. My pronouns are he, him, and I am managing editor here at Windy City Times. Yeah, it's awesome. I joined the team about 2 years ago now almost, and it's really been a life-changing experience for me. I have never worked somewhere so closely aligned to what I feel is my purpose in life, and the whole Windy City Times team has been so encouraging of me to reach toward my full potential, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful to work here. And yeah, it's just amazing. So I've gotten to know a lot of you through these past years in Chicago through my reporting and writing, but one of my roles at Windy City Times is to oversee our newsletter operation. And that really kicked off last year when we launched our queer events calendar, Chicago Social Butterflies. Thank you. It's an amazing project. I'm so happy I've been brought on the team for that, and it could not have taken off without all of you, so thank you for that. But what I really want to talk about tonight are two other newsletters we have at Windy City Times that I think embody the spirit of what we're celebrating tonight. And that is Black Lines, which is written by Anna DeShawn. And then we have En La Vida, which is written by Lou Calzada, who is also here, but I cannot see it. So let's give it up for Anna and Lou. I want to talk a little bit more about Black Lines and En La Vida because these newsletters are super, super special because they bring back two community newspapers that ran in the 1990s and early 2000s. Yeah, they covered Chicago's Black and Latino queer communities, and at the time, they were way more than just newspapers. They were lifelines, and they amplified voices that are too often ignored in mainstream coverage. And then today, as newsletters, they're connecting Black and Latino queer people with culturally relevant news, arts, events, and resources, while also offering glimpses into the Black Lines and En La Vida archives. Yeah, it's so cool. They remind us that our history is something we carry forward into the future. No matter how many people are going to try and erase it, we always have that. And when we have it, we're stronger. I know there's people here tonight, some who text me they couldn't make it last minute, who contributed to Black Lines and En La Vida during their original run. And I just want to say thank you. Your work is part of the 40-year legacy that we're celebrating today. And that's really because Black Lines and En La Vida show the power of community journalism. When we tell our own stories, as Anna so beautifully does with Black Lines and Lou with En La Vida. When we tell our own stories, we do that with love, we do it with truth, and we do it with context. And when we're not telling our own stories, we are risking invisibility. Or even worse, we're risking people who don't know us to misrepresent who we really are. And there's a lot of forces out there trying to do that at the moment. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported us. It's an honor to stand on this legacy and be a part of the team helping to carry it into the future. And thank you all so much for being here to celebrate tonight. It's now my honor to hand it over to someone I am so thankful for, our Windy City Times co-founder, Tracy Bain.
It's so rewarding to see so many parts of our community reflected here tonight, because that's what we always try to cover at all our different publications. I do want to list a few people who have been so critical to the last few years of the paper. All of our freelancers, of course, and many of them are here. But Terry has been by my side for 30 years, never wanting the limelight. There's no way this paper could be what it is. Yes, you know, my partner Dean has also been there 30 years. We have Ripley and Jerry, probably in the 20-year zone. We have Matt and now Jake and Vivian and so many other people that are part of it. I want to also pay tribute to DJ Harry T, who was part of our Black Lines family. And to Yvonne Zipter, who passed away earlier this year, one of our very first writers at Windy City Times. We've lost probably over 100 people since the founding of Windy City Times, some of them certainly to the HIV/AIDS crisis early on. Our co-founder, Bob Bearden, died of HIV complications about a year and a half after we founded it. So I thought I'd just tell a little story about the first few weeks of Windy City Times. We did start 40 years ago tomorrow. I had been at Gay Life newspaper, and Jeff McCourt wrote a gossip column under the name Mimi O'Shea. Bob Bearden was the sales manager, and Drew Bananish was the art director. Those three guys tried to buy Gay Life newspaper from Chuck Renslow, but the deal fell through in August of 1985. And they came to me, we went to the Different Strokes bar down the street, and they came to me with the idea that they were going to start a paper, and they wanted me to be managing editor, co-founding it with them. They had the money, and I had the experience of a whole year. So what do you do at 22? You leap off cliffs, and I've been leaping off cliffs ever since. But I didn't want to do it. I didn't have any problems with Chuck Renslow, but the community did. The community wasn't sure if Chuck could also run the newspaper, the men's bathhouse right next door, the men's leather bar right next door, and also be active in Democratic politics. As HIV was surging through the community, people wanted a different kind of newspaper. So they came up with the name Windy City Times, which I hated. I wanted the word gay in it somewhere, but I lost that one, thankfully, because it is a great name. But we worked out of their third floor walk-up apartment on Melrose Avenue at the lake. There was no typesetting equipment there, so Chris Cothran and Sarah Craig had a typesetting company downtown. So Tony Armstrong, Georgia Harper, and I would sleep in alternate turns on the floor overnight using their typesetting equipment to typeset headlines and sports listings and bar listings and all the stories. And then we'd run that copy up to Melrose Avenue, and Drew and his team would lay it out. Eventually we got a piece of typesetting equipment the size of a refrigerator in the basement before David Schaefer saved us with the Mac computers, and would work in freezing conditions with the ceiling falling in, running up and down those stairs. And it was a joy. like the thrill of covering your own community in a pre-internet era when nobody was covering us like we needed to cover ourselves. And I realize now is so much of the internet is destroyable, is hideable, censorable. And those old papers, which you now can own your own history tonight, Amy and I are going to talk about that, are so important to knowing our stories. Sandy Bird back here just reminded me, we did a cover story on her history of being institutionalized as a young woman in the 60s. And she said, thank you so much for telling my story. But the truth is, thank you all so much for letting us tell your stories. Because it's not easy to put yourself out there. So many people couldn't. So one story can represent 1,000 other stories that people that can't tell their stories. So it has been an honor to tell those stories and be a storyteller for this community, and it continues to be. I'm so grateful for the next generation continuing it while I do other crazy projects. And the other thing I'll say is, if you think about, if people know the book, Rebecca Mackay's book, The Great Believers, she used the archives of Windy City Times to set her stage, because she was a few years old when that book took place. So she used those archives. Hundreds and hundreds of authors and filmmakers and others use those archives today. So the risks that people took are worth it. The ghosts of that past live on. Danny Sotomayor lives on. Thousands of other people live on because those archives are available at the Chicago History Museum, the Chicago Public Library, and now could be on your 1 terabyte thumb drive tonight. So I'm really, really grateful. I have a special treat. Is Kathleen Ulm in the crowd? Is Kathleen Ulm here? Oh, awesome. Because we're gonna roll a couple-minute video from 2008 before I bring Amy Matheny up. So Brad or whoever, can you roll tape, please?
I'm so fucking excited that Lady Gaga is in the house. I cannot even tell you. I have been playing her CD on the Queercast and telling people to play this music and hear this music. And when Kathleen called me and said Lady Gaga is coming through town, I asked her to perform and she said yes. I almost wet myself. Her new single was just featured on So You Think You Can Dance 2 weeks ago. Last week, she was on the New Now Next Awards on Logo. Tonight, she is here with us, and the exclusive announcement is that iTunes just named her today the #1 dance record in the country. She is here to perform for you today. My friend Coleman at Logo said she's the new Grace Jones. I call her the new Blondie, when Blondie was fierce and fucking fabulous. She is here performing songs off her debut album, The Fame, which will debut in September. But you can get this hit single, folks, on iTunes. This is her hit single. Put your hands together for Lady Gaga!
My name is Lady Gaga. Hello. My name is Gaga. Isn't that right, Kathleen? Isn't that right, Windy City? Thank you, Gay Iron 2008. The passion from this beat is sick. I want to come back, it's so sick. I want to kiss you.
Okay, so that was from 2008 at Circuit Park. Marty Morrow, Lisa Hernandez, Katie Jacobson videotaped our Windy City Gay Idols, and Kathleen was our promotions director, and was contacted because Gaga was coming through town. So we didn't just do the news, we did the culture, and that's thanks to people like Amy Matheny. So thank you, Amy, for being here tonight.
That is hilarious. I've literally told people that happens and nobody ever believes me. I'm so glad, 'cause I hung out with her all day in the back room at Circuit nightclub, and we were like, there was like a shower curtain, and me and her singers in like black, like onesie spandex things with white Crocs. And there was like glue stick all over that disco stick. She was like, I made this myself. I was like, you think? It was hilarious. She's like, I just took a singing class from Christina Aguilera's like vocal coach. And I was like, cool. I mean, she has 3 single EP out, and then within 6 months she was opening the American Music Awards. That really happened, folks. It's pretty amazing. And what an ally she's been to our community. Holy cats, our little monsters. Hey everybody, I feel like it's kind of storytelling time, but this is what we do, and you all are my family. I'm like sitting here, I'm emotional, you know. It's like, wow. I grew up with you guys. I came out with you guys, and I grew up with you guys. And I came to the queer community as a weather girl with a brain, was what Les by Gay Radio told me they needed me to be. And they said just pick up like night spots or in La Vida or black lines or outlines, and you know, say when the smelts are swimming, and say when like the softball are playing softball, and just tell people what's going on. Sidetrack's having show tune nights, and I did that, and then I became, for about 3 years, the co-host on Les by Gay Radio. On drive time for anybody of that era. And that was the 90s. The early 90s. I was on the air. I was on the air the night Ellen came out. And I was on the air the night that the bombing happened in London. And I was on the night that the Matthew Shepard trials were happening. And it was you know, when I talk to my kids, you know, about the queer community today, you know, they have grown up in a world at 20 and 23 of like thinking it's not a big deal that I have a wife, and not understanding like what we've all gone through, and I love that, and at the same time I'm like, but you don't really know, and now they're knowing, right? They're really feeling this, and they're upset, and they're angry, and they're scared, and they've got the engine and the fuel to run the baton the next leg of the race for us. They really do, you guys. They've got it. But we need to know our stories, and we need to know our history. And Tracy acquired me, I like to say, when she acquired Les by Gay Radio. And I became a part of the Windy City family, and Terry taught me how to sell advertising, and I've been doing that for a couple of decades now. And but my heart is in Windy City Times and Windy City Media and all of its outlets, and in La Vida and Outlines and Black Lines. I'm so excited with the diversity of our community. You can see it here. But you know, our community is under attack. Our trans brothers and sisters are definitely under attack. It's sickening, and we will not go away. We will not. And the thing that was wonderful about radio, and now there's so many podcasters and queer radio shows, but we were it. I remember when we live streamed one night, we had people listening to us in South Africa and Germany, and we could see that somehow on the computer. I'm a Luddite, I have no clue how we knew, but we were like, they're sitting in a cafe in South Africa listening to Les by Gay Radio in Chicago, is because no one could out you with the newspaper on the air. You could change the dial, you could listen to it while you're driving home. Well, we have communities, guys, that need Chicago to be the leader. We have small communities. I'm from East Tennessee. Let me tell you, we have small communities that need Windy City Times to exist. LGBTQ people, I don't care if they're 18 and coming out or they're 60. They're living in communities where they don't feel safe. They feel like they're going back in the closet. They're scared about their rights, which are literally being taken away state by state. They need to be able to come and respite and visit our city. They need to come here and feel our strength and our power in our community, walk into a Sidetrack bar, pick up a newspaper, go and see people who are living the freedom that we have in this state and in this city to live. But it's not the norm, guys. We live in a bubble. We live in a big fucking bubble. But we live in the United States of America, and people come through here every day. So I really, you know, I always believe that Harvey Milk, when he said, just live your life. Be you, be out, live your life. You know, you don't have to sit here and go like, how can I help? How can I help? The world's on fire. And I just tell people who say that to me, just watch what's right in front of your face. If you can help somebody have that surgery that affirms them and makes them feel better, if you can just drive them to that surgery that makes them feel better, or help their health care, or take them food, or take them soup, or take them out on a night when they're just hard, they need to just come to Sidetrack and sing show tunes, or take them a book that you love to read that's a queer story that's affirming or that they'll relate to, you know, or just listen. Just talk to people who are like you. This is what we can do right now. This is what we can do. And people think, well, that's not enough. You know, I'm just me. What can I do? No, that's a lot. a lot of that is what we can do. And there's a lot of us. So when you travel to other cities or you go home, I am really a person who does not believe that we can start putting down walls and not talking to certain people. We gotta talk to people. We gotta talk to people. We gotta get in rooms with people. We gotta share our stories. And our stories are so important, which is what Tracy's been talking about. And I believe this is a spiritual thing, you guys. I don't care what you believe, your faith or whatever. I believe this is a spiritual thing. I believe the queer communities, we are spiritual leaders, that we heal the spirit once we heal our own. And I think if you're in this room, you've healed your spirit. I'm telling you, you healed your spirit if you're in this room. Okay? And we all can do whatever it is we can do. But I'm going to ask you right now what you can do on this little piece of paper. With the sisters' help. Thank you, sisters. Thank you for being here with us. All right? So tonight, one of the most awesome things you can do, and I've already gotten mine, is if you donate tonight $300 or more, you get a complete archive. I called it a zip drive tonight. Vivian laughed at me. Tells you my age. A thumb drive. Thanks. All right, kiddos. You get a full thumb drive of the historical archives. Can you tell me how long that's taken to literally put those archives together for you guys? This is labor-intensive work. And as she says, these archives are now worked to, New York Times seller books, Rebecca Mackay, to films, to just tell your families and tell your kids about the truth of our stories. So $300 or more gets you that thumb drive to have forever of all of these issues of Windy City Times, Black Lines, In La Vida, and Outlines Complete. And I love Outlines. Allison Bechtel was in Outlines back in the day. Fun, huh? Tony Award winner now. Now, if 300 is too much for you, do I have some people who would be willing tonight and want that thumb drive? Raise your hand. Let's start seeing some people who want that thumb drive. I see some people back here. Great gift for a friend or a family member, or to pass on to your kids or your nephews or your nieces or your parents or your homophobic uncle. I don't know. Anyhow, it's a wonderful way to own a piece of history. Now, if that's too rich for your blood, that's okay. But for $50 tonight, you can get the full-size Windy City Times covers book. It's beautiful. $50, you guys think about that. That's like a week of Starbucks for most of you, or a night here, okay? So just pony up for the $50. And also, if this is where your level is, we are happy. But I would like to see every person in here walk out. You can stick it in your pocket with the $10 mini cover book. These are things too, you can just leave them on the bus. I'm not kidding. There you go. See how people look at this. This is smaller than your phone, right? I mean, just leave them places. Leave them in the doctor's office. Leave them in the library. Leave them, I don't know, at a MAGA meeting. I don't know where you're going to leave them, but anyhow, leave them somewhere. They want to know last call. So, anyhow, pick up your little $10. The sisters are walking around. There are QR codes on this. Can we make a commitment that everybody will at least go home with one of these? $10. $10 to keep journalism alive for the queer community and keep telling our stories. It's a small price to pay. But I think really go deep in your heart and think about what $50 would mean to you in the scheme of the next 5 years of your life. How much would $50 really mean to you in the next 5 years of your life if you gave $10 a year tonight to keep journalism alive? We need this. Windy City Times is keeping us connected. It's keeping our spirits full, and it is sharing our stories. And that's the most powerful thing we can do. Most powerful thing we can do. So can we raise our hand and say we're all going to go home with one of these, guys? $10? All right. Anyhow, I also just want to say thank you to Tracy Bain. It is very true, Anna, that everybody, if you've worked for Windy City Times, would you raise your hand in here? Because or you called Tracy to get a job somewhere else, or to ask her opinion, or to ask for her help for something. It's Tracy. It's not about you, but without you, we wouldn't be here. So that's what we can say. Thank you all for being here and letting me be a part of it. And thank you for that video. I might need a copy of that.
So I literally just found that yesterday. I was looking for it since Kathleen asked me about it a couple weeks ago. We're going to try to clean it up, and she did perform 2 songs. So at some point in the near future, we will hopefully debut it here at Sidetrack. So we will let you know. It's never been seen since 2008. Somehow I found it. So thank you, Amy. We're going to bring up Anna for one last song. It is kind of a song. But I do want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. The representation of this community age-wise, there's a bunch of people that weren't even alive when Windy City Times was founded. And that's the true legacy that we want to leave. Thank you.
So we just want to say thank you again for all of you all joining us tonight. Staff, volunteers, sponsors, Valley's Chicago Casino and Bittencourt Realty. Give it up for them, please. So we're going to do a snippet from a portion of Hamilton that I think really fits for what we are living in right now. I may not live to see your glory.
I may not live to see your glory.
That was okay. But we're going to do better, okay? I may not live to see our glory.
I may not live to see our glory.
But I will gladly join the fight.
But I will gladly join the fight.
And when our children tell our story,
And when our children tell our story,
they'll tell the story of tonight.
they'll tell the story of tonight.
Raise a glass to freedom.
Raise a glass of freedom.
Something they can never take away.
Something they can never take away.
No matter what they tell you.
No matter what they tell you.
Tomorrow, there'll be more of us.
Tomorrow there'll be more of us.
Telling the story of tonight.
Telling the story of tonight.
So Windy City